Welcome, I'm Sarah D. Often we take from life that which was never there. Often we take offense when none was intended. Some people say, and I believe this, that it often hinges from something that happened in the past that we are bringing forward, even if we are unaware that we are bringing it forward. You've heard the term getting triggered by something that happens, and then you find yourself upset about something that happened that really you made it mean something that had happened in the past. And all the baggage that you left in the past, you brought forward to this present moment, and therefore inflicted more injury. Often what we see in the world is not what is actually there. And so if that is the case, maybe it would be a good idea to choose to see what we want to see, whether it's there or not. And even whether doing that causes it to come about in reality or just in our mind. Because we experience life in our bodies, but also in our mind, in our heart. It's the way things affect us. It's the story we tell about what is happening. A song I wrote a long time ago is entitled, I'll Fight the Tide. My motto is life's greatest battles are fought in your mind. And there's a principle of resistance that which you resist persists. And so when we fight against something, that's a resistance, and so maybe it makes it persist. But if we fight with love instead of with malice, it doesn't persist. I'm learning every day. I can't have everything my way. Should have learned it a long time ago. Oh, you can have it all, they say. Work real harder than you play. That's the way they say it goes. You see your way, I see mine. In the end, I hope we find each other. Until then, I'll fight the tide with love. I'll fight the tide. The world is crashing down, impatient people all around, fear-filled too. The bombs that lie in wait until the friction is too great. Damn you. You see your way, I see mine. In the end, I hope we find each other. Till then, I'll fight the tide with love. I'll fight the tide. And love lives on, and hope revives within each heart. A butterfly with fragile wings, yet firm resolve to rise above the crashing wall. crashing walls to rise above the crashing walls. You see your way, I see mine. In the end, I hope we find each other. Till then, I'll fight the tide with love. I'll fight the tide. I'll fight the tide. I'll fight the tide. The ocean is too big to fight. There's something called, I don't know that much about it, but I've been trying to learn about it so I could share it a little reasonably here with you. And if I get it wrong, you can let me know. But there's something called the undertow, but some people say that the undertow is not the rip tide or the rip current, but the rip current is something that occurs when the ocean water comes in between two sandbars that are underneath the water, but they're sandbars. They're big pieces of sand that when the ocean comes through, it goes through the channel. It goes over the top. Then when it's coming back, it can't go over the top of the sandbars, and so it only goes through this little channel area. Something like that, and it creates this current, this rip tide, and it happens especially in the night, in the evening, when there's the water coming in and the water coming out. When it's fading out, it happens more voraciously. Anyway, and it pulls you out into the ocean, and it's so say like this picture behind me. Say that's I'm trying to make it look right. Anyway, say the beach is here, my arm, and then the riptide is going out into the ocean. I know that might be a sky, but it kind of looks like the ocean to me. The sky often looks like water to me. Anyway, so you're going out into the water, pulling out this way, and that's the direction, of course, that riptide is going. If you try to swim against that riptide, you're not going to make it. You've got to wait until either it dissipates out into the fullness of the ocean, which might be too far for you to swim, who knows, or you have to swim perpendicular. Here's the riptide coming this way, and you swim perpendicular to that until you get away from where the flow of it that's coming out between those two sandbars is having its effect. So then you can come into the beach. But when you do that, you have to keep the beach in your awareness. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get there. You might get turned around. And if you're going to be going into the ocean, it's really important to be a good swimmer. Maybe to have lifeguards around. And also, I was listening to another young lady. In fact, I don't know her name, and I should, but I think a shark ate one of her arms off, and she's a really amazing surfer still. She still does that. And she practices, holding her breath, and of course all of her swimming skills. But one of the swimming skills she practices is holding her breath, because sometimes when she's surfing, it's not a riptide, but the waves come crashing down all over her and pull her under, and just undertow, 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 undertow. And you have to hold your breath for a long time and let the undertow pass away, because it's not continuing to be made. It happens, and then the energy of it will dissipate out. One time when I was very young, I got caught in an undertow, not in the ocean, but in a canal. They called it the Little Spillway in the small town that I grew up in. And I was in 7th grade, and I wasn't very tall, and I wasn't very heavy. And there was a place where it went like this, and then it went out like this. and the place from here to there, into the canal, there would be this undertow, anyway. And I got caught under there, and I could see the water up above, and I knew I was going to drown. And thankfully, one of my sister's friends saved my life because she saw me drowning. And I was very panicked. But thankfully, I hadn't practiced holding my breath. But I never returned to that place because it wasn't worth it. So when we make our choices to go into the arena of life, whatever arena of life we choose to go into, it would behoove me and behoove you to make sure that we know all of the pitfalls of the arena to the best of our ability. Prepare for those pitfalls in any way that we can, and then go out into the arena, and what comes at us, embrace it with love, with awe, with an awareness that what is coming is going to be for our good. And it's up to us, with our hand reaching up. It's up to us to work together to make that for our good. And did you notice, I don't know if it's still snowing out there, but I've kind of got it trying to look beachy here, or, all green, because it is spring here as I'm filming this. Now we're getting one of our last snows, and it's beautiful. I'm Sarah D. Make this a great day.